How's it going, everyone? As always, God bless you. Thank you for being here. I'm Gage, and this is Candy Coral Aquatics. Just a very quick update on the 60-gallon cube. Just letting you guys know. So I got married in July, and I moved about an hour away from the tank's current location. So I have not been doing any maintenance on this tank whatsoever. I mean, none. Probably since the last video I updated, maybe even prior to that. So I just let nature take its course, and it's been both good and bad, which I'll explain in a second. Just a update though, I am planning on getting back into the hobby. It'll probably be, sometime after the holidays. I'm looking into a different system. I don't believe I'm going to take the 60-gallon cube with me. For anybody that's ever broke down a tank, you guys know how much of a pain in the butt it can be. I called just a local aquarium shop that I've done business with before and asked them what it would cost to move, and they wanted $600. $600 to move this tank. I was like, no, I can buy a whole new system for that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I still have the same stock that I had before since my last update. Tamini tang, a lyre-tail anthea, an algae-eating blenny, and then a cleaner shrimp, as well as some snails and a few hermit crabs. So some of the things that have been going really, really well, I actually, just not, to reiterate here, nothing has been done to the tank except top-offs with fresh RODI 0 TDS water. And then feeding the fish. That's it. No supplementation as far as any of the major or minor trace elements. Nothing for the corals specifically. Just whatever they get from the fish food. I've had two pests in the tank that have kind of taken off, which is the downside to not maintaining anything. But biologically, I would say that the tank is very clean. I do not have nuisance algae everywhere. I have this red, I don't know if it's a slime necessarily. It's almost like an algae that you can see growing on the power heads, and then a little bit on some of the snail shells that are stuck to the glass. That's the only places it's growing, so I'm not really sure what to make of it. Other than that, I don't have any other type of nuisance algae or slimes. The rockwork is clean, the sand bed is clean, there's no diatoms or browning anywhere. So that's, I don't know, I guess that's kind of surprising. There's been no filter changes whatsoever. There's been no water changes whatsoever, just top-offs. The coralline algae is growing, I would say, very nicely. It's encrusting all sides of the glass. I just try to keep the front of the glass clean. I do have a tuxedo urchin in here. He's actually stuck to the back left glass panel. And they do, or at least so I've been told, they do eat coralline algae. So with him eating the coralline algae plus whatever other algae are forming, I still have an entire plethora of coralline algae in here. Now, as far as the corals are concerned, some have done very well. Some have, more or less stayed the same, and some have not done so well. I know it's not a coral, it's an invert, but the black widow anemone up top, it is divided, and there's now two of them. The sunset monopora to the left is still doing really well. Directly beneath the sunset monopora is a colony of rostozoas, which those don't look really good, and that's mainly not because they're not doing well. It's actually because one of the pests that I have let kind of encompass the tank here is glass anemones, the aptasias. So I did notice a while back that there was one in here, and I should have got rid of it then, but I didn't. And now they have spread all over the tank. So they're all within that colony. The zoas themselves are good and healthy and very colorful. However, eventually, they're just kind of slowly being taken over by these aptasia. There's also aptasia in other parts of the rockwork as well. So as far as taking this rock into my next system, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, just because of the addition of the aptasia into the new system. Down in the left-hand corner here, let me see if I can get a little closer. So I am trying to film this in 8K on my phone, so we'll see how that goes. Down here, I have pink diamond zoas and purple people eaters. The purple people eaters have grown a little bit. The pink diamonds haven't really done much. I think I might have a couple extra polyps, but you can see they're kind of closed off and they're not super happy. But again, that's just because of extremely poor husbandry. I've just been letting the tank do whatever it wants to do. Over here is my torch coral, which this was actually a dragon soul, but it's lost most of its purple coloration, and it is now just this really bright kind of golden color, which I almost actually prefer more. There is still a touch of purple in the tips, but in the video it's going to look mostly golden. And then just a quick overview of the other ones here. That's a mummy-eyed chalice. It's just not really doing anything. And then down here are some Nirvana zoas. Now, the fact that these are not completely taking over the tank leads me to believe that there's definitely some sort of, not necessarily biological, but maybe, well, it could be biological, but it could also just be a lack of additives within the water, chemical, if you will, to the effect of there's not enough calcium in the water. They don't really use a lot of calcium, but iodine primarily. And then the fact that who knows what my nitrates are. My nitrates, I don't know what they are. They could be very high, they could be very low. I'm not sure at all. I haven't done any testing. And then some green star polyp. But again, since the green star polyp and the Nirvanas are not taking off, I can only assume one of two things. The nitrates are either very, very low or very, very high, or there's not, again, there's not enough elements in the water to help these corals grow. Whichever, whatever, I'm not really concerned at the moment because, again, this is just, I'm just maintaining this tank. I'm just making sure that the fish are happy, and the corals I'm just kind of letting do whatever with. Now, the reason I have not had exponential growth, as you've seen in some of my other videos, if you've gone back and looked when this tank was fully stocked and when I was more active, excuse me, is simply because of the fact that, again, without testing, I can't know for sure, but it's either one of two things. There's not enough elements in the water, or there is not enough filtration happening and water changes happening, which is leading to either an increase in organic waste, and it's slowing or even kind of halting the growth of the coral, or it could be that the water is actually extremely clean because I've just letting biologically everything just kind of take over and it run on its own. And it could be that there's an absolute plethora of beneficial bacteria in here that is keeping everything extremely clean. And because I'm not adding additives and I'm not feeding more, it could just be that there's not enough in the water to allow them to grow properly. But we won't know unless we test. So that's where we're at right now. I will be getting back into the hobby after the holidays. If you guys have any suggestions for tank setups, please leave them in the comments below. As far as monies, I'd like to stay $1,000 or less if possible. I know it's getting harder and harder to do in this hobby, but that's what I would prefer. I'm thinking about doing some type of a built-in overflow system, or maybe even something with a sump. If I don't have to do a sump, I don't want to. So maybe even just like a built-in overflow of some kind, or where maybe overflow is not the right word, but the built-in filtration system where it kind of just filters into the back and then comes back into the tank by means of pumps that are built within the aquarium. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them down. If you have any suggestions, leave them down. I do have some ideas that I've been talking with my wife about for this channel and getting things back on track. But yeah, it was good to talk to you guys again, and we'll see you soon. Take care and God bless.